Right. Should we go around and you guys can introduce yourselves and talk about kind of the epilepsy you have? And Nick, should we start with you?
Yes, yes, yes. My name's Nick Murray. Um, I've been epileptic since I was 34 in 1996, where I had a head injury, um, and which sent me into a coma for 3 weeks, where the technicians were saying, "Well, just switch the equipment off now and let Nick fly off," you know.
Really?
And but my mother said, "No, I don't think so." And anyway, so I've been epileptic since '96, and uh, 25 years ago, the time flies, and
Yeah.
it, it's never stopped changing. It always changes, and December was a shame because I did so much. I'd fractured the skull again and did other problems. So the epilepsy's come back in another one, you know, another. There's so many different types,
Mm.
and and the medication. I'm on my normal epilepsy, nighttime seizures,
Yeah.
and now I take another medication, carbamazepine, for my daytime seizures. But they still happen, they just they never stop. So it's a funny old life, but it's life, and one has to carry on. I have a 9-year-old daughter this time, so she's very, very used to it. She's grown up with it. So yeah, bingo. and get involved with as much as we can.
Definitely. Scott, how about you?
Right. Well, I'm Scott Williams. I have a condition called paraventricular netrito. Yeah, I'll just read this one out. Paraventricular nodular heterotopia,
Wow.
or PVNH for short. Basically,
Yes.
it starts from birth, and also like so. Basically, uh, what happens is like the normal thing that rather than the brain cells growing out, so like going okay, so that's happening through all your life. The part that causes malfunctions in the brain, if you will, is firing in like that instead,
Mm.
or from different parts. Mine is a general, so it's not in one part where you can like get surgery
Yeah.
to maybe get it out, hopefully. But because it's little bits all over the brain, it's not worth it. It's basically a medication thing,
Mm.
but mine is far more complicated because I've now got to go to a genetic specialist because uh, there's loads of, apart from normal epileptics, and there is no normal epileptic because everybody's brain is obviously different, to different thoughts, all kinds of stuff. So there is no normal type of epilepsy, all unique.
Yeah.
With mine, it's like it's more genetic than uh, a lot that I've seen, and I've now got that. Now I've been told there's a slight heart issue, so I've been having to transfer to a completely different team that handles both heart conditions related to epilepsy. So that's basically a whole new ball game. I've had it since I was 9, been diagnosed with epilepsy since I was 9, and ever since that time, I've been going through like yearly stints, and the most I've gone without a fit is about 2 years, and then throughout school, I've been having like yearly fits, and that's been really cool, I guess, in comparison. But then when I about 16 to 18, I started having fits more frequently, And then by the time I was in ending college and then went to university, and until this time, I have been having fits quite regularly. Um, the most amount of fits I'll have in, say, a week uh, went up to about 32 fits. And at the moment, I'm having like one fit every day of the week. It's fairly rare that I'll go a couple of days without having a fit, but you know, fingers crossed. It's gonna be all good in the end, but I cope with it is the main idea, because everyone has their own coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
So it's all about just going through the day, not necessarily worrying about it, but knowing it's there, and taking it from that point. Because when you have such a serious illness, which some people are like, "Mm, it's not that bad," but it is, because you've got to refocus your entire lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you But when you're very young, your mother says like you can do anything you want.
Mm.
But when I was 9, going on to 10, I realized that everything I wanted to do, I'd have to cut it in half by 50%. So my life then was about 50% worth of stuff I really could do. And then it just hit me very, very hard that I can't do this, I can't do that. And rather than also going to a special school, they uh, said I was fine to go to a normal school.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I should have actually gone to a school where you had the brain affects what you're learning. But that's fine. And the people that are around me that know I have epilepsy, they're fine with it. They know how to act. And the people who aren't sure, and or they've never seen someone have an epileptic fit before, they do get shocked. They have the old like go-to method of just either staring or just running to me and saying, "Wow, you okay? You okay? I saw what happened." Da, da, da. And that's very nice of them. But also you get the odd situations where you get you got a very nice person like in the middle of town or something like that. You have a fit, you fall down injured, and they don't. It's all lovely that they'll call an ambulance straight away. But what if you've got the what ifs? If you don't actually, if they give you like a give the phone call to go to hospital, but then you don't actually have money to get back, and you don't have money for like a phone call. It does get a little bit complicated in that respect, but it's just a really difficult minefield to navigate.
Yeah.
So that's how others would see it, I guess, in that way. So it's all a bit up in the air of what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
But it's all down to the person who actually has epilepsy. When they come around, just like give them a second or two, or a little bit, get them somewhere safe. Obviously, if they're down on the floor having a fit, don't touch them. Make sure they're not going to bang the head or something like that. But just make sure everybody around is not crowding around, because
That's the
when you're having
worst
a
thing, isn't it?
if you're
I know.
having yeah, so if you're having quite a serious fit, your arms are flailing, you do not, you run the risk of breaking their arms, or spraining a limb if you're holding them down. So that's not something that is even recommended to try and do. What you'd need to do is just make sure everything is away from them that they might hit, uh, and then you just wait it out for them to finish having their fit. Maybe it would be a a blackout where they're like that because it's so tiring,
Yeah.
or they'll just come straight around and talk. And people who are like looking over you, they'll be like, "Hello, how are you? Are you okay? Do you know where you are?" And that's how my fits are. They last for literally seconds. It's embarrassing when like I was at the shop, had a fit, didn't have time to get down on my knees. I just went down like that, and hit my head, and all that came of that was I woke up. Well, not really woke up. I opened my eyes as soon as it happened. I didn't realize I'd hit my head open. There was like I went like that, and I saw loads of blood pouring out, and it does get a little bit, well, I'd say a little bit, it depends from person to person, but frightening, scary, it's all kinds of emotions.
Even embarrassing. I find that with me. I've got scars there on my nose, my eye, under my lip. It's like I formed another lip, you know, because of the skin.
Yeah.
It's really it's embarrassing. I mean, just like Nick and Scott. I mean, I've had epilepsy since I was 17.
Yeah.
And mine's idiopathic generalized epilepsy. So in layman's terms, is that idiopathic, they don't know where it stemmed from. So because there is epilepsy in the family, then they say it must be hereditary. Yeah. And generalized, like Scott said, it's just over the brain. The brain will have an inflammation. You have, you know, you're fit, and then it stops. I was like Nick, you know, many years ago when I first had it, just calm within a second, and I was down. But over the years, touch wood, I said I have like the warning signs. But even if there's like a cycle, and but a woman has their cycle each month, you know, I could get absences. So it's like I'm going through a daze for a moment, and then it's like, oh, but I know that's just because of the change in the hormones. But I've been fortunate in the sense of medication wise. I take 3 medications, and one of the medications, lamotrigine, I've been on it since I was 17, and I'm now 34. And the second drug and the third drug, I've only been on since 2014. So I've been very fortunate in that sense. But when you do fall down and your body's weak and you know, you're fitting, it is horrible. It is, when you wake up, it's like, oh my God, why has this happened? And I think as well, when you have a child, and I'm sure Nick, you can understand this, it's so, you feel you're even more upset, because you're like, oh my God, you know, how are you going to tell our kids, you know, okay, we've had a fit or anything like that? Or if they're there and they see it, you know, you just feel so sad. I don't know. I feel it anyway. And they're just looking at you like, it's okay. But you know that it's not nice for them, let alone us. But at the same time, you know, we have to, I'm trying to think of the right words actually. And you know what, we're warriors. We're warrior queens, warrior kings, warrior princesses, and warrior princes. And our families and friends, you know, they live it with us. So they're just, you know, as important. But I think what is good is having friendships with people that have epilepsy. You know, I met Scott and Nick at the epilepsy centre, you know, and
Then mother.
yeah, he calls me Den
She
Mother.
looked after us. She was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Any problems, she'd be there sorting it out.
And Chupo.
Pardon?
And Chupo. That's what I was doing you, wasn't I?
Do you know what? It was so. Do you know what I think is when you go there, you're the new person, and including me, and it's like, oh my God, you know, you're in a different environment, loads of people around you, you know, everybody's having, you know, fits on a daily basis. Not at any time. You could be sitting there eating breakfast and it's there. It happens to somebody. But it's about making people feel welcomed. And actually, me and Scott, he annoyed me when I first went there. I found him really annoying. and Nick, I took very, you know, Nick was just like, he was just cool. He was so cool and calm. and laid back. He could have been lying down. That's how laid back Nick is. but Scott really, even though he annoyed me at first by some of the, I didn't grasp his sense of humor at the beginning. That's what I think. I was like, oh, but he, bless him, he made me feel so welcomed, and then we all just kind of built a bond. And you know, there's some other people with epilepsy that, you know, we've made friends with, and it's just so great because we get each other. Nick, Scott, and we get each other, and other people that have epilepsy. You know, our loved ones will get us, as you know, understand it too as much as they can. But when you have the condition, it's a different kind of understanding, and it's a relationship that we form. So in my eyes, you know, Nick, Scott, and a few others, they're like we're like an epilepsy family.
Yes.
So we'll take the mickey out of each other, but at the same time, we wouldn't let an outsider do it. Well, I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah, it's like
So,
we were all there. So,
how did you find it, Nick?
Oh, sorry, Charlotte.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah,
How did you find it?
You know, I mean, this is just like you said. You know, I mean, it's. You know, I live in Hastings now, and I don't know anyone that's epileptic. And my neighbours know I am, and I have them walking down my avenue. It's not a road, it's an avenue. It's a pathway with 24 houses. And I do have seizures out on the path, you know, walking home or leaving the house. And so people around me are aware of, it's scary for them, you know, very scary. And but I don't know anyone. You guys obviously, but no one I know in my area and in my town and in my family suffer what I do. But and it doesn't seem to change. But you know, this I will say it now. I'm on my, since, you know, December, I've had all these seizure problems, and I'm actually, when we get to Sunday, this Sunday, I'm 11 weeks seizure free. And it's like, it scares me to say it, but you know, oh my word, this is very, very unusual, as you guys know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you mean.
Embrace
exactly.
it. Embrace it. Don't worry too much. Just embrace it.
I am, but also, you know, it's hard to get the confidence back up, and I can't leave the house on my own at the moment. I can't go to school to pick my daughter up like I used to. Yeah. Let's give it a bit longer, and we'll see. You know, let's give it a few more weeks or whatever. We'll see, because my medication's been up slightly, and yeah, I'm used to it at the moment. It's quite odd, but you know, I fall asleep at 8 in the evening. I'm asleep, and I wake at 5 in the morning every day, religiously for years upon years. I've been doing this, and I sleep so deeply. And I used to have my seizures in the middle of the night, you know, where I'd always wet myself and wet the bed and the usual type of seizure, you know. But like I said earlier, you know, there's so many different types of seizures, and up to 11 weeks ago, this was all a new one that I'd been having for months, you know. So no warnings, not even one second warning, which was quite a new one on me, you know. But we all have so much to say on it, don't we? There's so many different things happening with our brains, you know, and yeah, I can have a laugh and a joke about them. I have to. God, you know, I'm 59 this year, and there's just hope a serious accident doesn't happen. You know, I won't be cycling along the seafront.
Sense of humor really helps about it, you know, to a certain extent. Otherwise, you just be like living on your own or with someone, and they'd be getting the grunt of your bad mood if you didn't just lighten up. So, you know, every time that Chalfont, Charlotte knows I've got, you know, a kind of risque sense of humor, and everybody who came there that was started to hang out with us, I told them straight away off the cuff, look, I've got a little bit of a risque sense of humor. If I do offend you, I am very sorry. Just tell me if I do, and I'll say sorry. But just, you know, it's medicated as well. Because one thing about all the medication we take is how people sometimes they don't realize that it causes side effects that you wouldn't really get with medicine, but it does. That's it.
Yeah.
It will cause side effects that people would not expect. Yes, it's there to deal with your issue that, you know, is why you've got to take the medication, but there's no guarantees that it won't cause any other side effects that people will just not like think about.
Yeah, definitely. So, Shah, what does?
Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Mike. I apologize. Like, we're rabbiting on, and I know you have some questions for.
No, it's fine. It's fine, and that's why that's why I wanted it to be anyway, more of a natural thing than a structured thing.
Emotional a minute ago. I still feel it. It's like overwhelmed, like happy, because it's Purple Day, and that was the question you was going to ask me, wasn't it? What does it mean to
you? Yeah.
To me, it's just, as I said, it's about the awareness of epilepsy, and I think it's just, to me, it's like a reminder of our personal journey. And I think that's why I was getting emotional, because I'm hearing two friends telling me, you know, telling us and the world their life with it. And I just want people out there to recognize that even though we have a condition, epilepsy is out there. It is important. We are human. We are not different because, you know, our brain decides to have a mind of its own. You know, epilepsy does matter, and why shouldn't it? You know, we're just as important as everybody else, and that's why I think I feel emotional, because all I'm thinking about is my journey, other people's journey. But I think what's overwhelming me a bit as well is, I feel really emotional. There are people that have died from epilepsy, and, you know, and they battled and battled, and people don't see that. And unfortunately, sadly enough, they're no longer here on this earth. And I know someone that died from having too many seizures. But at the same time, it's like we have to be grateful for what we do have and what we can do, even if it is limited, you know, from the fact that we can, like, walk to the shops or make a cup of coffee or jog on the spot like Nick does, you know, for his daily exercise, or me sleeping a lot because the medication makes me tired, you know, and but even just doing this Zoom, you know, I think it's great to put it out there and just say, look, we're strong, you know, don't underestimate us, because if we can fall down and get back up every single day and still keep continuing to live life as much as we can through the upset, through the overwhelming emotions, through the embarrassment, through the learning to cope, through frustrations. If we can do that, then you know, what can people say? We are stronger than we look. And and I just want to celebrate Purple Day. It's our day, and, you know, it's dedicated to everybody I know, families and friends of people with epilepsy, and just as importantly, people that have died of epilepsy. And I think we need to honor all them people that have passed away. I'm sorry, I just they're happy tears and sad, and it's just all emotional. Sorry.
Nick, what does Purple Day mean to you?
Sorry?
What does Purple Day mean to you?
Well, it means like this. It means it, and I know it's growing, and it's growing. You know, and we got to you know, Sue, who's my partner. She's a great artist, and she's created 2 pieces of work for the Epilepsy Society in the last year, and they've been auctioned off, and they raised great money for the system. And you know, so we're in touch with what's happening, and you know, I can't wait with this to get out there today. Somehow doing something. I walk to the school with my partner and just speak to a few people, and well, just to visualize, you know, is anything happening amongst this society I'm in out here, you know, and I want to watch the TV to see how it's growing. And the information I've been having on Instagram and so on is, you know, I can feel and see it is growing, which is great.
Good. Scott.
Well, what it means to me, it's all about how people can take it, and all the stuff that you take in yourself. As someone with epilepsy, it's just a minefield for both yourself and other people. And one thing that I guess hasn't been covered is how it affects other people. It's, you know, it's very concerning to other people how you know, if they can or cannot take it. But it's, you know, then it gets built into your mind that how's someone going to take it if I do this or that? Because as I said, your life basically gets, for me anyway, it got cut by 50%. That's how I imagined it, and it more or less has. So some people will, you know, think fair enough, if she has got epilepsy, they can't do this job. Sometimes it's for security measures, other times it's not quite favoritism, but you know, if they're going to be off having doctor's appointments, they're not really got their heart in it. But who's to say that? That's it can be slightly prejudice, and now it's not at all. But you do get the odd person who will look at you in the street, and but a lot of them are very understanding, and they'll go out of their way to make sure that you feel safe and comfortable. So it's being grateful. Like, half of it is being grateful to other people as well, especially the doctors, nurses, everybody who is helping in the medical profession. And I have a carer. His name is Simon, and he helps me for 3 hours every week, just like for shopping, take me out for a coffee, for a walk so I can walk the dog. It's really very good. And I've got access to various things where I can just do, but under supervision. So those kind of people that you know, you'd really want to thank and say, you know, you're really good people.
Absolutely.
Sure. How can we spread more awareness? What more can we do?
For me, I mean, as you know, I already do fundraising events, awareness days, to speak up about epilepsy and the facts of it and how it can affect our lives. And I think just talking about it more is a good thing. I know a lot of people with epilepsy, you know, don't want to, and that's entirely their decision. But I think talking about it, doing fundraising more, building, not building, that's the wrong word, sorry. Having fun days. You see, like Purple Day, you know, you have events like, for example, in London and things like that. I think, you know, like a day in the park and meeting other people with epilepsy and their families and friends and children and carers, and just getting the message out there and just to break that stigma. That's what I think, and that's what I've been working on anyway, on and off since 2015. So I think, I mean, that's what I am doing, and I want to continue to do. And I think it'll be great, just things like this, conversations about people with different types of epilepsy and how we live, and just that's all I can think of at the top of my head. Sorry, I'm still emotional. So.
It's all right. Let it go. It's fine.
So I think, you know, it'd be good for people to, especially that go that they said, like families, children, carers, and that it's true what Scott said. You know, they need to be appreciated because they're living that with us. In some way or another. They are living that with us, and they need to be recognized as well. And just keep raising money, keep telling our stories. Even going into schools, I think, is a great thing. That's another thing on my list to do, is to go into schools, educate young children, go into organizations. But I won't do it solo. I definitely want to you know, grab as many friends and even a professional to come along, and we can talk about it. So Nick and Scott, be prepared for that call.
I just quickly wanted to mention the clap for carers comment you made. You know, not just like any old carers, the epilepsy carers as well. You know, not just the epilepsy carers, just general carers. So. Well done. Well, all appreciated. All appreciated.
What about you, Nick?
Yes. Yeah. No. That's. You know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Did I miss
Mike, what's the question again?
Just whether
we're forgetful.
What can we do to spread even more awareness? I know Shah's covered a lot there, but
well,
sorry.
No, all those things you said, you know, and you know, like I said here, you know, I do feel I don't know anyone else who experiences it where in the town I'm living, but there's no things that you go to. So I mean, I do tell people, and I have spoken to some of the parents of my daughter, and there's no one really knows about it, you know, and of course, unless they experience your seizure, you know, and so you do have to talk about it. But I know some of me just says, you know, oh, don't, just keep it to yourself, you know, it's your problemo, you know. But I do like to say what I can without making it too much of a drama, you know. Spread the word.
Scott, anything to add?
I think a lot of it's pretty much been covered, really. I mean, digital media, social media is a great way to just get the message out there. I've got a small Facebook page, Epilepsy Support, which I've donated a couple of times, not just to charities, but also to the actual page, so you can get it out to whatever countries you want. And it seems to be Far East and over in America where I've just got tons of members coming in saying, you know, just for the support. It's really good. So yeah, the one thing that hasn't been mentioned, social media. Everybody is using their phones every single day. When you get up, first thing you're going to do, rather, you know, with or over a cup of coffee, check your phone when you get up, and just, you know, have a little switch, you know, what's been going on, you know. And that's one of the ways. Social media is, you know, you can blast stuff out, you know, if it's like a single comment, if it's you know, a conversation like this, maybe not live, but it could be just, you know, giving a message, sending a comment. That's the kind of thing that will get quite a reaction, I've found.
Cool. Any last words, guys?
Can I just make a special mention?
Yeah, of course you can.
Obviously, you know, special mention to everybody that has epilepsy, as we all know, and support us. But there is a lovely lady who touched my heart in more ways than one. Her name was Kate, and she too was at the Epilepsy Centre. I think you, Scott, did you meet her as well? Yeah, you met Kate, didn't you?
I must have met, yeah.
Nick, Kate was there when you was there?
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, I can't picture. It all sounds familiar.
But I do dedicate this to her, as well as everybody else, because she touched my heart in such a way that it makes me have all these happy tears, and that I just, I love her, and I'm just so grateful that she came into my life, and if anything, if ever I've been unwell from a fit, I just think about her smile, and her little wise words, and it just kind of picks me up and just kind of keeps me going again. So yeah, I definitely just wanted to shout out to Kate Edwards, and especially my family and friends, because I wouldn't know where I'd be if I didn't have them and my epilepsy family. We rock. So I love you all.
Guys,
Oh, is it?
guys, thank you very much, and happy Purple Day.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And this will go out later on today, so we'll be promoting it and catching up with you guys about your Instagram accounts and what have you, so we can all do it and push.
Is there anything you'd like to say, Mike?
You got that question out earlier, didn't you, when you asked me? But just to add to that,
See, we're forgetful at times. It's part of the medication for epilepsy. So what you're seeing is our reality, that we are forgetful. We say the same thing about 10 times.
It's completely fine. I wanted this to be as natural as possible, and for people to really see you in your natural elements, and just explaining about your experience. So yeah, no, I'm just happy that you guys could all do this. Thank you, Charlotte, for arranging it, and you guys coming on and sharing your experiences. And that's, as Charlotte was saying, without discussion. See, this is the key to it all, is talking about it and spreading awareness. And media is a big thing. So I'll get this out there on YouTube and promote this video as much as I can to help the cause, and hope Purple Day keeps on growing and it becomes even bigger. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. And thank you very much, guys, and happy Purple Day.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
See you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.